So I go to a lot of shows in Jersey, and I've had the honor of going to Toy Fair before. And every time I see like a Mattel rep or a NECA, I actually have met Randy Falk a few times and have asked him personally, what is up with the D&D license? And they always say, well, which one? The cartoon, the game, the board game, or dice game, the books, the LJN toys, the rubber LJN toys. There's so many different properties. And well, I said, well, either the cartoon, which would be fantastic, but I know that's not going to happen. But really, the LJN figures of Warduke and forget the knight's name, Ironheart, Braveheart. I really think they would work, And they're all, the window's closing because us toy collectors that remember that. This is probably a few years before Masters of the Universe. We're going to be, in our retirement years. And then finally, someone at a show, works for NECA. He said, if you like D&D, just wait till next year. You're going to be more than happy. And I am. And Hasbro is pumping out cartoon toys, and NECA is pumping out the LGN. I just sold my original Warduke because I knew this guy was coming out, and I was like, I don't need my vintage anymore. And I don't, but I wish I had him for a comparison. You couldn't have honored the original toy any better if you tried. A lot of people have made great customs of this guy. Warduke, if you're not familiar, he's the bad guy in the LGN toy line. He's like Skeletor. He's up there with Mumra. He's a toy that every kid had. Like, he didn't fit in. Like, he was more scaled to G.I. Joe 3 3/4. But every kid had this guy in their toy box. You see him at toy shows all the time. He is an OG original badass. And even if you have no nostalgia, yeah, that's a funny word to say. No nostalgia for this figure, you can't deny how freaking awesome he is. The tooling on the belt, the fur, the one side of armor, the shield. I mean, this figure is gorgeous. I don't know what buck he's on. I thought he was on this Rocky buck when I saw images, but he is so much bigger. And I was worried about this ugly diaphragm cut. And I was like, you don't even need it because these straps hinder any type of ab crunch. But the diaphragm cut is low. It's hidden in the belt. He does have a double joint and a bicep swivel. You can get the arm kind of up in the He-Man. I have the power pose. I love this figure. NECA already, what are we in? We're only in January, and NECA has hit us with that awesome Dracula release. This Warduke. And as a bonus, I'm not going to really go over him. This Elf. This Elf is just so fun, man. What? NECA, you're killing me. This is good. I thought this year would be slow. We're only in January, and we have 3 must-have figures from NECA. Before I go, did Elf take a tumble? All right, Elf, sorry. Before I go, he scales really well with 40th anniversary He-Man. They look great together. I don't think he scales that great with Mythic Legions. He's a little too big, but if you want him to be like the superior badass, that works. NECA's smart for doing this. A part of me thinks that they saw this Mythic Legion hype, and I don't know when it's going to die out, the Mythic Legion hype. And they're like, let's get a piece of that pie. He-Man's still doing good. Mythic Legions is here kicking ass. And they made just a home. This is a grand slam. You see this figure on the shelf, do not walk past it. Buy it. You'll be thrilled, and then write me and tell me, Toy Games, you're a piece of shit. You made me spend $40, but you were right. Take care. Have fun.